It's just a GMO. Wait, that is something to be afraid of. Genetically modified organisms are terrifying when you get to know what they do. They may look normal on the outside, but the problems they cause are not. During this presentation, I'm going to talk about how these organisms won't actually feed hungry people, how they're destroying our farmers financially, and how they're destroying our environment and us. Are you hungry? Because so are they. Now, the biotech industry will tell you that these people are going hungry because there's a lack of food in the world. This is just a ploy to further themselves in business. They think that if you think GMOs will help feed these people, you'll support them. After all, they do say that these foods increase crop yield. That's great. More food for hungry people. Lies, I say, lies. Do you want to know the real reason for these people going hungry? It's not the lack of food, but rather the greed of the companies. According to Huffington Post, there is enough food in this world to feed 10 billion people. Current world population, 7.5 billion. So what's the problem? Why are these people still going hungry? I will tell you why. It's because hungry people are just too poor to afford food. Yep, that's it. That is the big answer. And that's why I say that these companies are greedy. Instead of telling us the truth and letting us help these people now, they don't. All they want to do is sell more of their product. But now you know the truth. We don't actually need GMOs to increase crop yield. We have enough food for everyone. So the real question is, how strong are our morals? Speaking of financial issues, let's talk about those poor farmers. And when I say poor, I don't mean they need to be pitied. According to farmaid.org, these farmers are actually losing money because of GMOs. See, these crops may be different from organic crops, but they still have to grow from a seed. And these seeds are patented by a company called Monsanto. And Monsanto knows that they can raise the price of these seeds just because they're different. And the price of the seed isn't the only thing rising. Well, the only money farmers are giving out. Now farmers have to go back every season to buy new seeds instead of replanting the seeds from the crops they just grew. That's because these seeds are patented. And guess what Monsanto gets? More money. Now, I know you may think, isn't this the farmer's choice? Well, yes, but only for GMO farmers. See, these seeds can pollinate just like any other seeds. So the problem becomes when you're an organic farmer next to a GMO farmer, guess what happens if your field gets pollinated with those seeds? Well, you become property of Monsanto. You can no longer be an organic farmer. Or if you want to, you have to wait for your field to clear out, which takes time and money. So eventually, problems of normal farmers will become problems of everyone. And once our farmers are poor and can't buy seed anymore, Monsanto will just give out their seeds, right? Right? Don't kid yourself. All right, let's talk about how they're ruining the environment. The makers of these organisms say that they'll help the environment, they'll increase crop yield, and they can replenish ruined fields. According to NCBI, this just isn't true. The fields in which these crops are planted now will soon be wastelands, dry and barren and unusable. This is due to the chemicals poured on them. See, the chemicals poured on these plants, the plants can survive them, but the microorganisms in the soil cannot. This is where a problem arises. See, like I said, the plants can survive them, but these little microorganisms are the things that provide nutrients to the plants. Now, normal plants dig their roots into the soil and soak up all the nutrients they can. And GM plants do this too, but there's a complication. Once those chemicals are poured on those plants, they kill these little guys. And then the plants become malnourished because they have no nutrients to go off of. And then the things that eat the plants become malnourished. Guess who eats the plants? We do! And so does the livestock that we eat. So in the end, we'll always be malnourished and unhealthy. Soon enough, if we keep eating these plants, we'll become so malnourished that we'll all die. But we won't be the only ones dying. See, these chemicals also are the cause of colony collapse disorder, or CCD. There's something in these chemicals called, hold on, let me get this right. Neonicotinoids. That's a big word, and funny. Let's say it again. Neonicotinoids. Wait, there's something in that word that sounds familiar. Oh, that's right. Nicotine, you know, as in the stuff in cigarettes that kills you. This is what we're giving to our bees. No wonder they're dying. Now, I know some of you may have a fear of bees, but the truth is we desperately need them. Because not only will malnutrition kill us, but so will the lack of our pollinated crops. Alrighty then, let's look back at what we discussed. First, we talked about how we don't actually need these crops to feed hungry people. We have enough food to feed them now, but the companies are so hungry themselves that they won't let that happen. Money hungry, that is. Then we talked about how our farmers are spiraling into a financial crisis. And finally, we talked about how these organisms are destroying our environment and us from the inside out. Why don't we just call them aliens? Get it? So anyways, I'm not going to scream again, but next time you see a GMO, you should. Thank you.